Hi, my name is Omolola from Bakery Sense. Today, I'm going to be talking about data flow within your bakery. What's data flow? Let's throw out that technical language and just talk about how business works within your bakery and giving you an overview, something for you to think about what goes on in your bakery. All right, so today we're talking about business flow. Now, why do we need to talk about business flow in your bakery? I'm going to tell you shortly. A lot of us started business as passion bakers. We just wanted to create beautiful cakes, or we needed money, right? And we had a passion for baking and we started business. As things grew, references came, what we called a small passion action has become a business. Now that it is a business, you need to treat it like a business so that it will survive. It's like a baby. When you have a baby, it's a baby. You get used to the baby, but by the time the baby is a teenager, you know things must change because it is no longer a baby, it now has a mind of its own. That is exactly what's going on with your business. It now has a mind of its own. It has become an entity, and you need to understand this entity. It's different from what you started with as a passion baker. So, what happens in your bakery? What happens? Now, one thing is customers come. You have customers who make orders, right? You have staff who produce, right? Production can be baking, it can be decoration, it can be cooking, it could even be packaging, right? So you have staff who do this for you. You probably have vendors too. Who are your vendors? Those people who supply you the things you use in your bakery. So you have your cake board supplier, you have your cake box supplier, you have your supplies from those who supply your ingredients, your oil, your things like that, right? Your material supplier, let's call them your material supplier. So these are like the different things that happen in your bakery. Okay, you have your staff, they produce, you have your staff that do your customer care, and if you are big enough, you have probably an accountant, you have an admin person. Most times people will merge the accountant, the admin together with the HR, right? So you have all these people in your bakery. And so imagine you, like me, some time ago, that I walked into my bakery and I was wondering, what really happens here? What's going on in this place? So you have all these people doing one thing or the other for you. You produce cake, and the cake keeps slipping off the board. Your cake board vendor, the person you need to talk to. Or maybe your cake decorator, your staff, who attached the cake on the board that did not do it very well. Or let's say the cake was delivered. So you can have your delivery man as your vendor, right? So the cake was delivered and it was broken by the time it was delivered because your delivery man did not do a good job, right? Or good news, the cake is fantastic. The customer loves the cake. It tastes like heaven. Your staff who baked the cake, right? It was beautiful. The customer liked the look of the cake. Your staff who baked the cake. Oh, the bread was interesting. Customers are coming to buy the bread over and over again. Your staff who are responsible for baking the bread, right? So how do we put all of this into a flow? Let's look at it from one angle. The customer goes to IG or Facebook or WhatsApp, or what other, maybe you have your website, look at it, you already have like 4 different channels, and some of us even have more, right? 4 different channels that the customer can even order from. Let's call this one's channel, let's call them sources. Now all these people, they will speak to your customer care or your administrator, whatever you want to call that person. They will speak to somebody who is your staff, and this person will take the order, right, and pass it to your production. This person will take the order and pass it to your production team, right? Your production team will look at this and say, oh, do we need to bake? Do we need to decorate? Do we need to bake? Do we need to decorate? Do we need any special thing for this cake? All right? Then they look at, when do we need to bake it? When do we need to bake the cake if we need to bake? When do we need to deliver it if we need to deliver? What are the things that we need to do? That's what your production guys do, right? Now when the production guy is done, your outcome is your ready to go, ready cake. Your outcome is your ready cake or bread or pastry, you know, whatever the thing is that you are producing, your outcome is that, right? And your customer, let's drop the line back, will get delivery of that service. Now if the customer is happy, the customer will come back again with feedback. Yes, the delivery happens. If the customer is happy, the customer comes back with feedback. Feedback can be received through any of these channels. It goes to your admin staff, and your admin staff can now post on social media. Voila. So look at this. Beautiful, right? Now the question is, you were not in the store when all of this happened. How do you trace back what happened? You were not in the store when all of this happened. So you were not in the store when the customer got the cake, when it was produced. You probably traveled, and the customer's feedback probably was negative. How do you track who did what in your workflow? How do you track that? Do you have any record for your order? Do you have records here? Do you have records here? Do you have any form of delivery record you track? Do you have any record? All right, so it's very important that you are able to trace back what happened, and for you to be able to trace back what happened, you have to keep records. Imagine all of this was written in different books, physical books. How easy would it be to trace back everything that has happened? Are you still using physical books to capture records within your bakery or your store? We have a webinar, how to truly know what happens in your bakery, available on Seller. You can click on the link in the caption to access the webinar. For just 5,000 naira, you get access to fully loaded version of this that I've just taken you through. You need to know what goes on in your bakery, and you need to understand your bakery now that it's no longer a baby.